By now, I think most people have somewhat of an understanding about how important customer research is and how important it is for any person producing any sort of marketing material to have a very clear understanding of what their target audience's pain points are, what their core desires are, what their dream outcome is, what the perfect hell is, what they are looking to achieve, how they want to achieve it, what they aren't willing to do to achieve it. But I've got a very strong suspicion that most people aren't doing the market research to a level that is required to get extraordinary results or to get exponential results within their marketing. Especially these days with the reliance on AI, or people using more and more AI to produce marketing materials, there just isn't as much of a need for them to have a really in-depth understanding of their market and of their audience. Or at least it's easier not to get away with it. But in order to get really great or exponential results within your email marketing or within your marketing as a whole, creating any sort of marketing material, or even content for that matter, it is still a very high leverage activity for you to spend hours understanding or getting a very, very in-depth understanding of your market and what they actually want. So for a little bit of context, we only work with health supplement brands. So we work within a very small niche of the market, working with very similar brands, only doing email and SMS marketing for them. But even with this being said, we still spend 3 to 6 plus hours minimum on each client researching their exact audience, customers, products, product mechanisms, what their audience actually wants, what they don't want, what they are and aren't willing to do, and much more. So today I'm going to share with you a resource that we use internally to figure out how to actually get market research and customer research, the different types of data that we're looking for, and different ways to get them. So there's lots of different types of data to look for. You need to know how to weigh different data differently, as some information that you find online may not be as applicable for your exact brand. And more importantly, you need to know how and where to get it. So today I'm going to go through this quick document that shows you exactly what to look for and how to get it. And then in a later video, in my next video, I'm going to give you a full internal SOP for market research that goes over everything we do for each new client that we get. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so this document here is pretty much a resource that we use alongside our main marketing research SOP. So the whole point of this is just to basically get a better understanding of the different types of market research that we can find or that we're looking for and how to weigh it, because not all information should be held to the same level or have the same priority or have the same credence when it comes to looking at the data to summarize it and make decisions from that. I'll explain that further here, but let's just get straight into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the different types of data that you can find. So there's zero-party data, first-party data, second-party, third-party. So this is basically what your customers tell you, what they actually do, what customers have told partners or do with partners of yours or of the business, and then what they do and say to everyone else. So first party and zero party data should be held as the highest levels of data that you find, or the highest levels of information that you find, because these people or these audiences are exactly the people they're looking for, or the people that are interacting with you. They're looking for your product, they're interacting with your brand, they're not interacting with a different brand or different competitor that's mostly the same or mostly analogous but a tiny bit different. So you need to weigh these pieces of information or this data the heaviest, as in you should give this data or this information the most credence when it comes to making decisions based off of this stuff in the future. So a quick summary of these different types of data are: zero-party data is data customers intentionally give to you. So this is things like surveys, quizzes, forms, wish lists, anything that they voluntarily give you. So this zero-party data is very good. The only con is sometimes there's some dissonance between what the customers say they want and what they actually do. For example, a brand may put out an email or a research or survey asking their customers what they want, what new products they want, to determine what the next line of products are going to be. Then they might go out and create it and put it up for sale, but the customers don't actually buy it, because they may say they want a thing, but then when it comes down to it, they won't actually do it. It'd be like, for example, a gym supplement business creating a workout plan or a weight loss plan, and then everyone says that they want that, and then they go around to actually make it, and they release it, but no one actually buys it because no one actually wants to do it when it comes down to it. This doesn't happen all the time, but it's just something to look out for when it comes to people saying they want to do something or saying they want something, but then they don't actually buy it or do it. Next is first party data. So this is data based off of the customer's behaviors. So this is what they're actually doing. In my opinion, this is probably the best form of data to be looking at, as there's no influence by their own internal beliefs or or how your customers want other people to look at them. It is just actually what they're doing. So this is best found through analytics, records, activity, heat mapping, stuff like that. You're just looking exactly what they're doing to try and get an understanding of any trends or any of the most looked at or valued things by your customers or by your audience. Next is second party data, which is basically the same as third party, but the only difference between second party and third party data is they're partners. So like an example of second party data is you partnering with another brand to do a giveaway or something, and then they give you the data from the giveaway, or with an influencer, and then they give you the data based off of, like, you pay, for an example, you would pay the influencer to do a post, they run the post, and then they send you the analytics of the people who interact with your post. That would be second party data, which is very good, but the audience isn't exactly analogous with your brand. It'll always be tainted with their brand or the audience that they have already developed or gathered. So take this stuff with a grain of salt. Same as third party data. The only difference here with third party data is basically everything else that isn't your brand or isn't partnered or affiliated with your brand. So this is like literally everything else. This is forums, Amazon, Facebook groups, other brands' websites, reviews, ads, whatever. This is everything else. Knowing which is best, again, I'm going to say zero party and first party are the best data types to use, or that should be weighed most heavily when you're actually looking to make decisions based off of these things. If there's ever contradicting data between zero/first party information and then information that you get from third party data sources, then you should weigh the zero or first party data higher, or use that instead of the third party data. But if you're a brand new business or a brand new brand, or you have no first party or very little first party or zero party data to look at or to use, either gather it using the methods detailed below, or do your best with whatever you can find. What information is actually useful, I'm going to say all of it. There's no downside really when it comes to getting too much information, as long as you sort through and weigh it all correctly. Basically using that filter that I've just dictated there. But the more information you have, the broader context you'll get when it comes to understanding your audience and what they actually want and what's actually going on in their lives. The better you can understand the person you're targeting, the better you can write marketing material for them, and the better you can influence them, is ultimately what I'm trying to get across here, and that's what we're trying to do. A quick sort of rundown of the information that you're looking for when you're going through these things is the following. I won't go through them all here, but I've just listed them out here so you can have somewhat of an idea of what you're looking for. So when you see it, you can recognize it rather than trying to see it and find it for the first time. It's just easier to recognize something rather than find it for the first time, if that makes sense. So going through these, I won't go through all of them here. How do you actually gather zero-party data? So there's lots of ways to do this. The best way is for you to speak to someone individually, in my opinion. If you can call up a customer or a VIP customer, a lead or whatever, and have a conversation with them or talk to them person to person, is even better. Record that if possible. But by doing that, you want to get way more information than you ever would through any surveys or emails or forms, etc. Especially if you're on a Zoom call or person to person, you're going to get a lot more cues that don't come across over text or via multiple choice answers, etc. Like, you'll see when they talk about certain pain points or certain things they're looking for, they might light up and they might be extra excited and extra happy to talk about it. Or if they talk about is this thing that they are really insecure about and they're trying to get rid of, they might become quiet and closed off. So you're just able to see a lot more of what they're actually feeling when you're talking to them in person or when you're on a call with them. But that's not always an option. So I've included a bunch of other things that you can use that isn't there. First is surveys or quizzes. Very easy. Send them out email, send them out via social media, send them out to your audience wherever you can. This can be done with incentives. You can offer them something in order for them to fill out the surveys or whatever. But just know that if you incentivize it, you may get slightly worse off data, or you may have people just going through the motions of the surveys in order to get the incentives that you're offering. It won't be purely just what the people are feeling and what they actually want. There may be some contamination of people that just wanting to get whatever you're offering. Actually, I believe this can easily be done through Google Forms, or there's a heap of other survey/form softwares. Other options are questionnaires, product review questionnaires, post-purchase surveys, interactive content. The other main options for zero-party data that isn't surveys/quizzes or isn't person-to-person contact, as I do think these are the best, are account creation questionnaires, product review questionnaires, post-purchase surveys, interactive content, wish lists, feedback forms, and conversations within advertising or marketing. So like comments or conversations within your paid advertising comments or your social media marketing comments are great places to look for information like this, which you'll hear me talk about a lot more moving forward. So I think the comment section within your ads and within your social content is a very valuable place to be looking for this type of information. Gathering first-party data, again, is what they're actually doing. So a lot of it's just behavior stuff. So what are they doing website, like on your website or on your app or whatever, page visits, time spent on pages, what they're clicking on, heat maps, stuff like that, which can be done within your software that you're using for your website, or there are normally plugins or add-ons that you can get that track heat maps or track trends on what people are actually doing on your website. Next is transaction data. Just looking at what people are buying, how many times they're buying it, what is the most purchased product, what types of products get the most amount of returning customers over time, stuff like that. Furthermore, if you have subscriber software, then that's also a great place to look for this type of information. Actionably, if you're using Shopify, you can use apps like LTV Calculator and Retention X. These are two very good apps that you plug into your store that spit out a bunch of information based off of customer behavior. Next, another obvious one is email SMS engagement, just looking at what people are actually engaging on within your email SMS marketing, what's getting the most clicks, what's getting the most opens, the most revenue. Plus, another great way to do this, or another way to specifically gather information while doing things like this, is to do multiple choice email campaigns where there are links or different call to actions to different products within the same email, or different benefits. Like if you're looking for X benefit, A benefit, B benefit, C benefit, click here, here, or here. Or pain points. If you're trying to fix X, Y, Z, click here, here, or here. By doing this, you'll be able to look at the stats of what people are actually clicking on to get an understanding of percentage, to get an understanding of how many people within your list are actually dealing with the different pain problems or looking for the different benefits, and what the percentage split between each of them is, because it may surprise you. Next, social media engagement, very similar to what I just said, but just looking at what's getting the most engagement, likes, comments, etc. And then from those posts that are getting the most engagement, what hooks they're using, what content are you featuring, stuff like that. Plus, most platforms give you some sort of analytics on the back end anyway. Account creation data, not as applicable for most e-com stores, but if you do have any sort of account creation, just looking at the data that they give you, or even adding in extra details for them to fill out to see what they're looking for or see what their main pain points are. And then again, just looking at the data postpartum or after a period of time when you've gathered enough data to look at. Loyalty program data, this one's especially useful as these are normally your most loyal customers or your most valuable customers. So you see what products are they buying, looking at what they're doing with their rewards, so are they actually claiming their rewards, what they're spending it on, will also give you a very good understanding of what actually they want. If it's not just more of the same thing, if they're spending it on something else in your store but they're not buying it, they're using your loyalty rewards to claim it, then that may give you an idea as to what to upsell these people, or what other products you should be focusing on secondarily after your hero products. Customer support interactions. This is huge. If you should be looking at all the tickets that your customers are sending through, having a sort of deep dive through all the past ones that you've done, looking at what other objections that people are giving you before they're buying, as this is arguably the best place to look for this type of information specifically. And then what other things they're looking for. So are they asking, will X benefit fix Y problem or give me Z benefit? This is like the first source. This is the people that are directly, these are the people that you are currently directly focusing on, as in they've already been targeted by you, interacted with your marketing, landed on your website, but haven't bought because your marketing or your advertising material is missing something. And they're telling you exactly what it's missing and what you need to convince them of. If they're asking, will it work for me because I'm X, Y, or Z special flower that's unique and different, then you should be adding more views to your website or to your marketing material that covers the different types of customer avatars that you have. But actionably, you could literally just go through all your customer support tickets, list out everything that people wanted or are concerned about, and then just go through one by one and add in all these different things within your marketing journey somewhere, whether that's more information or FAQs on your product page, more reviews from different types of people talking about different types of things, or more information about the mechanisms behind your product or why they work or how they work. But this is very important and a very useful data source to be looking at. Next is reviews. Pretty self-explanatory, but the things that I like to look out for is what are most of the people most happy about getting from your product? Is it the main benefit that you thought was the thing that everyone's looking for, or was it the side benefit that most people are actually the most happy about? Or is it actually some weird or unique side benefit about your product that you didn't think was that important but people are actually really happy about? If so, talk about those things more within your marketing materials. Next is second party data. Pretty simple. It's just creating partnerships or doing co-branding campaigns or doing events with other brands and then sharing the data that you get. I won't talk much more about this. Referrals or partner programs is also another good way to get this data actually. Next is third party data. This is the one that's most talked about online, so I won't harp on this too much. But the thing that I don't see people talking a lot about these days, especially outside of the direct response realm, is research on affiliate marketplaces. So places like ClickBank, JVZoo, Affiliates, like there are actually a ton of affiliate marketplaces that are very direct response in their nature and how they are running their marketing and their businesses, which is a good thing because they're putting a lot of spend behind their marketing, A/B testing literally everything to figure out what are the best hooks, what are the best angles, what are the best conversion mechanisms that they should be using for the products that they're trying to sell. And they're doing it in the most hardcore way possible because they don't necessarily care about like customers repurchasing, coming back and again, or their brand. They're looking just to make money now. So you shouldn't be emulating these products marketing exactly, but you should be taking the core messaging or the core pain points, benefits, whatever behind their marketing and be integrating into your products or your brand's marketing if it's analogous. Again, this is where this stuff, like it may be hard to find products on these types of websites or in general that are 100% the same as yours or 90% the same as yours or whatever. But that being said, even if the products aren't the same, it's still a really cool place to look for different angles and different hooks and different types of marketing that you should be considering. Looking at paid advertisements. So another pretty well-known thing here is going on Facebook ads library or looking at different ad marketplaces or different places that people are basically just running paid ads and seeing what angles they're using, what hooks they're using, what types of copy they're using. And then furthermore, go down, if you can, create a burner account or whatever, or go on, if you see these ads happening natively, look at the comments, or if you see the comments in any other way, have a look at them. Especially if you can find the retargeting ad campaigns for these brands, then the comments under them are literally their most valuable audiences or audiences that they've already paid a lot of money in order to get interacting with that ad and then leaving their thoughts, their beliefs, their concerns. That's like extremely useful. So it's like their own first party data that you can literally just get for free. And if that brand's like extremely similar to yours, then go through and look at as many of these comments, as much of this information as possible because it's extremely valuable. Next, social media data insights. Again, basically just look at social media accounts from other brands that isn't yours. Again, look at comments. Look at the store reviews from other brands. Look at their product reviews, look at their store reviews, look at basically all the reviews that you can find. Amazon reviews are a great place for this as well, or any sort of marketplaces are also places that you can look for reviews. But again, you're trying to find what they don't like about their products, what they like the most about their products, and trying to find needs or issues that still haven't been solved in the market that you might be able to solve with your product or create a new product for. One that I've somehow missed here, which is insane, is forums. Reddit, Facebook ad groups, Facebook groups, any sort of forums talking about any niche, well, any niche in general really, are great places to see what people are currently thinking, feeling, like to get a good understanding of the current sort of market sentiment within that specific niche. Forums are a really good place for it. But there's also a lot of bullshit in forums, so you've got to really sort through it all to try and find the valuable information. And then one last tip here, if you ever do come into the issue of you having a lot of information regarding one thing that's like hard to sort out, just like use chat or use AI to try and summarize or sort out this data for you, especially if it's like numbers or numerical or any empirical data that's like numbers or analytics, then it's very easy just to put it into chat, ask it to give you averages or spit out graphs or tables or anything that can just help you digest this information more easily in order to create a summary for yourself or to make a decision yourself based on this information. So that's it for this document. Again, this is just a resource that we use and that you can use alongside our main market research SOP. So in the next video, I'll be covering this and I'll be attaching that as well. So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, this is still an incredibly valuable resource to be looking at or to understand, because it basically just shows you how and where to find all the different types of information that you can use for your brand or for your product. And it gives you some insights as to how you should be weighing these different types of data when it comes to actually making decisions on them. Now, this will be linked below for free access. If you have any questions on this or anything, please feel free to let me know. If you like the video, give it a like. But if you want to get the main market research SOP, again, there'll be a next video. So keep an eye out for that. But until then, cheers.